Hello and welcome to this very controversial looking screen. Normally I do playthroughs of games on my channel. Hello, I'm Bjorn, by the way, if you don't know me. This is already such a weird introduction, but today I'm gonna try to do something different because I have made some how to make custom Super Mario Galaxy 2 levels in the past. I'm still working on them, by the way. I mean, I don't have one in the make at the moment, but if you have any ideas, then of course let them know, let me know. But today I'm just gonna do something different, because in the 5th episode, or 6th, I don't really know for sure, I think it's the 5th episode, I showed you guys how you can make your own custom models and import them into the game. And now that you guys know how to do that, I thought it would be pretty useful to know how to do certain tricks that Nintendo pulls off in Mario games. Specifically Mario Galaxy, of course. But if you're using this to make a custom level for, I don't know, Mario Odyssey, Mario 3D World, then you can also use this tutorial to your advantage. And yeah, this is possibly going to be a series. If you guys want me to make more of this, then of course let me know and I'll make a series out of this. Maybe post a video like this once a month. I'm just going to teach you guys different techniques on how to pull things off. And in this first episode, or well, in this video, I don't know if it's going to be an episode, but in this video I'm going to show you how Nintendo, or how to make holes in spherical planets. So for example, you have the Gateway Galaxy's second planet, which has with a black hole in the center, and that has a lot of holes. You also have some planets with holes in the Bowser Jr. levels, and then you also have various galaxies with planets that have holes in them. And in this video I'm just gonna show you how you can make your own custom planets with holes in them. So yeah, let's do this. Alright, I hope I don't forget this, but I have left a link in the description to download this file, this default Blender file, and you'll want to use this for pretty much every single one of your models you make for example Mario Galaxy, which is because I have set all of these settings here, like this view or this display or these shadings here, so you can actually see materials and vertex coloring and all of that properly, and you can actually zoom out more than, like, I don't know, default. The default is at this, and if you have a really big planet like this, yeah, then it's very hard to keep that in view, and it's actually quite impossible to do that. So yeah, just download that blend file, keep all of the settings I have there, and if you have any questions, of course, let me know. But yeah, now we can actually start on showing you how to make holes in planets. So for this example, we're just gonna get a UV sphere. By the way, I have not practiced this video, so if I make any mistakes, then please forgive me, because this is the first time I actually make tutorials like this, like on Blender. But anyway, we're just gonna start off with a UV sphere, and I think we're gonna make it a little bit more high resolution than normally. So we're gonna go with 48 segments and 24 rings, and the size can be, let's do 2000 for now. So that's actually the radius. So the planet is now 4000 by 4000 by 4000. I'll actually do 1500. Well, actually, let's do 1250. So it is roughly, it's exactly 2500 by 2500 by 2500. Yeah, now we can start on making holes inside this sphere. So first of all, before I do anything, let me just enable smooth shading, because otherwise it looks like this. It looks pretty horrible. And I'm gonna turn on auto smooth right here, which just makes, well, if you ever do like an extrusion here of some sort, then it automatically smooth or shades those harsh edges flat. Otherwise it would have looked like this, and that looks absolutely terrible. You don't want that in any of your models because it just looks horrible. But there are two techniques I'm gonna teach you in this video, and the first technique is the knife tool, which is a tool that you can get by going into edit mode and then here, knife. And if you click on that, or if you press K, it's also a way to enable the knife tool. Then you can see a bunch of options on the bottom. Most of them you don't really have to care about, apart from this one right here, C, which is angle constraint. I don't know if you can actually see my cursor. Okay, capture cursor is on, so hopefully you can see my cursor. This one right here, C, angle constraint. That is if you want a straight line. So if we just click anywhere, now we can go in any direction we want. But if I press C, then it basically holds to 45-degree angles, and that is really handy for if you just want to make like rectangles or squares or whatever. And you also have Z, which means if I just turn that on, and if I make a cut here, and if I go to the back, you can see it has also done the same thing on the other side of the view. That is really handy if you want to, for example, do two sides simultaneously, but we're not going to use it in this tutorial because it's not necessary at all. And yeah, let's just start making some sort of a hole. So I think I'm going to go into top view, go into a certain angle, like if you press 2 on the number pad or 8, you do this, like you change the y-axis of the angle, or no, the x-axis of the angle. At least in Mario Galaxy, x is like this and y is like this. It's pretty confusing, but yeah. And if you press 4 or 6, you do y-axis. You can also do z-axis if you just press Control and Shift and then scroll with your mouse wheel. Yeah, I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can do it. So I'm gonna go into orthographic view, which okay, let's not do that. It's 5 on the number pad, but it looks pretty horrible, so let's not do that. And I'm just gonna make a very simple hole in this sphere. So I'm just gonna make some sort of a circle, whatever, and yeah, this can look either really good or really bad, but it just takes some practice, you know, to make good holes. But it's just a tutorial. It doesn't need to be very good looking. I mean, of course it has to be good looking, but there we go. Anyway, by the way, if you want to accept a cut you did, you can just press enter, and then it does it for you. I think you can also press space. That also works. Okay. But yeah, enter will also work. And now you can pretty much guess what we're gonna do. We're gonna select all of these faces inside of the cut that we made, because it doesn't automatically remove the faces that we cut, because, well, most of the time you don't really want that, but in this situation we definitely do want to do it. So I'm just gonna press X and then delete the faces, and there we go, we've made a hole. But you can see through it, and it doesn't have any, yeah, you cannot see the other side of the planet, which you should definitely be able to. So how are we gonna make depth into the planet? Because we can just go like, for example, this is just an example, don't repeat this, we can just go E and then scale it in, recalculate normals, and yeah, that looks fine, right? But there's one small problem, which is that these faces are scaled in into the center, or into the center of the selection, and usually you want to calculate every face independently. And yeah, we're not going to do E. Just don't do E ever when you want to do this. So don't do it, okay? So just Control Z. But how do we do it? Well, just go to the modifiers tab here, add modifier, and then add the solidify modifier. And right now it's set to offset -1. You want to keep it at that, and just keep increasing the thickness until you get something you like. So you might want something really thick, like 500. But as you can see here, faces start overlapping, and that doesn't, you don't really want that. But I'm just gonna go with 125. I think that looks, or actually let's do 100. I think that should be fine. If you change the offset, by the way, from +1 or from -1 to +1, you can make the solidify go in the outwards. And I think that actually looks pretty good for this certain scenario. So now that's the first method. Now obviously it doesn't look great, but you can add in like some sort of a bevel, change it to limit method of angle, so you only bevel edges that are at a angle of higher than 30. So edges like this don't count, but edges like 90 degrees, for example, like this, do count. And then we're just going to change the width to like 20, and that actually looks pretty acceptable. You can also upper the segments if you want to go something smooth, then you can also do that. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this first method. Now, this bevel isn't included in any methods. It's just a way to make it look a bit better. So that's the first method. What can the second method possibly be? Yeah, possibly be. It's the shrink wrap modifier. If you've never heard of it, I'm gonna explain. So just add in another UV sphere, change it to smooth, and yeah, we just have the same sphere we had before. But instead of using the knife tool, we're gonna use this shrink wrap modifier, which is here and then right here, shrink wrap. But we can't use it on a sphere because it doesn't really work like that. We need to make an object that is going to be projected onto the sphere, and then Blender, or the shrink wrap modifier, basically wraps that object around this, it projects this object directly onto the sphere. So I'm just going to show you. If we add a circle, let's make it a little bit bigger, and let me just position it so you can actually see it. If we, for example, let me just do that, for example. If we add a shrink wrap to this object and then set the target to the sphere, you can see what it does. It places the object, I don't really know how to explain it, but it places, or it takes the mesh of this object and it calculates it, so it tries to keep this circle shape as best as possible, and yeah, then you get this. But the mode here is set to the nearest surface point. You want to set that to project, and then you have a couple of more options. The only thing you want to check is the negative direction, and you also want to see what axis is it going to be projected at. So the circle is a little bit towards the y, or it's the circle is away from the sphere in the y and the x-axis. You can also check the z-axis, but I don't think it's really necessary. Let's just try all the axes, and I have no idea actually. I have no really idea how it works. Oh, there we go. You need to change the z-axis in this case, and there we go. It basically has kept the circle, the circles, the shape of the circle, and you can also add in some more geometry by adding a subsurf modifier to the circle. So now it is a little bit more smooth, and then it calculates it even better. So now what you want to do is apply the shrink wrap modifier, select the circle, shift, and then select the sphere, and then press Ctrl J. I actually should turn on screencast keys. Let me just quickly do that. Okay, actually it turns out the screencast keys is an add-on that you have to install. So I'm gonna make it so it's the screencast keys is on in the next episode. I'm gonna do it right after I finish this episode. Anyways, I'm sorry about that, but we have got this little circle and this sphere, and now they're in one object or one mesh. Did we really want to do that? Yes, we want to do that because now we're gonna do something pretty cool. So this circle actually has a little bit more geometry than I wanted. So I'm gonna press Ctrl E and then unsubdivide it, change the iteration to 1, and then it removes the subdivision that we did earlier. That's a way to reverse subdivisions. So now we want to remove all of the faces that are inside of this circle here. So we're going to select all of the faces. Doesn't matter if it's just 1% inside the sphere or 99%. Select all of the faces that you can see that are inside the circle here. So all of these, and then delete the faces by pressing X and then faces. And look at that. The circle is now free from any faces on it. And just to make it a little bit easier on myself for the next step, I'm just going to select this vertex here, press Ctrl and then plus on the number pad. And I'm just going to hide those faces because otherwise you might accidentally select the faces from the opposite side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to try to fill up this space. So this space around the circle. So how do you even do that? Well, very simple. You just select 4 vertices or 5 or 6 and then press F and then you make a face. And basically you do that around the entire around the entire outer edge, rim, whatever, until you have something you like. So this vertex right here is pretty close to this one, so I'm gonna double tap or select this vertex, double tap G to do a vertex slide, and I'm just gonna move it to about there. That looks to be a lot better. I'm gonna do the same over here. So this one is pretty close again. And so let me just move it and move it, move it and move it. And then you basically do this for the entire circle. So this is a pretty repetitive process, but it's probably a better method than using the knife tool, because then you get much cleaner results. And yeah, let's be honest, the knife method, it didn't look too great. So yeah, just make sure you don't just make sure you vertex slide vertices if they are pretty close to each other. And then we are done. So now just connect these, and there we go. If I just bring back the entire sphere, there we go. We have made pretty much a perfect circle or oval. It's not really perfect circle, but it's close enough. Yeah, if you want to make perfect circles or ovals or rectangles even, I think that works. I think it works with our rectangles, but I'm not sure. Let's just try that out then. But first, I'm going to just add in a solidify, put the offset to 1, and then we can add in some thickness, set the auto smooth on, and there we go. We now have a pretty much perfect circle hole in the sphere, in the planet. And it looks pretty good, if I'm being honest. So we can apply the solidify, or we can just, oh, that's the wrong modifier. Angle, just increase the width a little bit. And yeah, that is looking pretty good. So that's definitely a successful method. And of course, if you really are crazy, then you can even add in, like, I don't know, some text. Just type in some weird stuff like I don't know, Mario Galaxy is the best Mario game ever. Yeah. Just type in the number, or the letter F, for example, scale it up a little bit, and then press Alt C, and then mesh from text. There we go. And then just pull it up. Just make it fit a little bit. We're gonna put it on the top now. Then we're gonna press X and then only faces. We want to keep the edges, so that's actually it actually has an outline. Just delete these inner edges, whatever. And now we have an F, and then we're gonna do the same thing we did before. Shrink wrap, put it onto the sphere. I don't know where the hell it went. It seems like it just doesn't have enough geometry. So what we're gonna do is subdivide it like 5 times. So now it should have more than enough geometry. There we go. That looks pretty good. But I'm just gonna change to project negative, and there we go. I don't know if it. Okay, that does something. Yeah, that is good. All right. Apply, shift, can join these together, and then we can pretty much remove all of the unnecessary stuff. So we're going to change the angle to, yeah, you know what, whatever, this is fine. And yeah, then just start by, well, deleting faces that are inside of this, of the letter F here. And yeah, just repeat doing this method, or the knife method if you prefer that one, for all of the holes you'll be making in the future. So I'm not gonna complete this one. I'm just gonna do a very simple start. That should be good. There's no more faces inside of the F, so that's good. I don't know if this will work, but let's try it out. Alt or Control F, sorry, and then fill. That actually works pretty well. Smooth it out. Yeah, that is really good. It does have quite a lot of geometry here, but if we just put on a decimate and then planar and then just pull down the angle limit a little bit, I think I should get rid of the problem. Yeah, there we go. So solidify 100, pull that up, all is smooth. There we go. That actually looks very bad. Yeah, I mean, it does have some a little bit of harsh. Yeah, it doesn't look too great, but it's something. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you learned something from it. I hope it was useful. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And yeah, I hope to see you in the next video. Goodbye.